every talk, this is such a deep subject. Every time Swamiji picks up a topic and expounds on that. So today's topic is know your mind. And we all know without mind we cannot do anything. So Swamiji, please.
Namaskar. Namaskar. And thank you for reminding me that 11 years coming this way. This is excellent. The mind, this is very important. What is this mind? But before that, let us chant this mantra. You can also join me repeating after me. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarvam Vishaya Atitam Tashmai Sarvavide Namaha. Sarvavide Namaha. The one who knows everything. He is the source, so naturally he knows everything. And we are bowing down to him. So that is the ultimate, that Sarvavide. And what is that? Chaitanya. That is the consciousness. Sarvagam, it is everywhere. Sarvam, Bhuta, Guhashayam. It is inside, residing in the heart of every being. And again, it knows everything. It is residing in the heart of everyone, but it is beyond any Vishaya. The Sarva Vishaya Atitam. Friends, if we can remember these few points, Vishaya means subject. And what is the subject? That you can touch, you can smell, you can taste, you can see, you can perceive. That is a subject. When we say Vishaya, Vishaya means subject in the philosophical term, and that you can perceive through 5 sense organs. Anything that can be achieved through 5 sense organs is a Vishaya. Anything that you can perceive through 5 sense organs is temporary. So our pursuit is for the permanent, not the temporary. So this Vishaya, and that is saturated with the consciousness, which is, though it is saturating that particular Vishaya, but it is detached from that. It is not in that. If you know that particular object, it doesn't mean that you know the consciousness. Without the consciousness, you cannot know. Like, if it is dark, we won't be able to see anything in this room. But with the light, we see everything in this room, but that doesn't mean the light is associated with the objects or the things that is in the room. We see through the light, but light has nothing to do with it. Exactly like that, the consciousness, which is all-pervading everywhere, but it is not associated. This fine point we have to keep in mind, though it is very, very difficult. All Vedantic speakers, they go on speaking only on this. This is the only point. They go on talking every time, but this is the way we can understand. Now, know your mind. Why it is so important? Because through mind, we are going to go beyond mind. The mind cannot take us to that ultimate, but we have to take the help of the mind. Now, if we don't understand what is this mind, we'll be in trouble. So, the knowing the mind is essential. And you know, the modern psychology, they have developed, and so many different ways they have researched on the mind. What is this mind? Is it consciousness or what? Now, this, if we see here, from the time immemorial, much before Lord Buddha, the people researched on mind. These yogis, they tried to find out why we suffer. We are having food, we are having clothing, we are having houses, we are having friends, family, but still we suffer. What do we need? What do we want? They don't understand that, so they wanted to research on that, and that the goal was happiness. How to reach to the happiness, and why we want happiness, not suffering. What are all these research in those days, much before Buddha? So obviously we call it that the time of the Vedanta. So they were going on researching, and they found out it is the mind that is suffering, not the body. The mind is suffering, and it is the mind that is enjoying, and it is the mind which is the cause of everything. But it is not the body. Body is just like a machine, just like a vehicle. And inside that, the mind is going on functioning, and the body, the poor fellow, don't know why I am doing this. Because the subtle way it is going on instigating the mind. So the focus was not on the body, but on the mind. It is in the Indian philosophy. Western philosophy, they focused on the body. They mainly focused on the body because they could see it, they could touch it. You'll find that the Indian art also, it goes beyond the physical thing. The very different way the art is. Because the human society is nothing but its philosophy. The philosophy will always inspire. And yesterday I went to Nashville to attend the, what they call it, 55 meeting of the All Oriya Conference. The Oriya Conference of the All North America Oriya Conference. Like the North America Bengali Conference and this Telugu Conference, like the Oriya Conference. And in that Oriya Conference, we found that they are dressed like that, in like the Indian, then Odissi dances, and children are excited. It's a good way to transfer the culture to the new generation. They are born over here. Very few they go to the country. So obviously, this is a very nice way transferring the culture. But are they really narrow-minded? No. Because this culture is based on philosophy. The philosophy teaches that if you like to be happy, you have to go to God and there is no other way. If you like to be happy, you have to go to God. But where is God? How we can go over there? This is a mind. And how the mind can be trained to go over there? Now come religion. And what happens after reaching over there? Spirituality. So these are the steps. They function in that way. Then present-day neuroscientists also believe that mind is a pure product of brain. And sometimes they say it is brain itself, the mind. 8th century, the Buddhist master Dharmakriti, he gave an explanation on the function of the mind in his book, Commentary on the Valid Cognition. So that time, from the 8th century onwards, the Buddhists also focused on the mind. And this particular, the monk, he was concentrating and finding out the points. It's a long, big article on that. The question remained unanswered, how the mind is functioning. He said the mind has so many differences. So he was going on. Swami Vivekananda gave an example to prove that mind is more powerful than the machine. And he gave the example that a train was moving on the rails and an ant was crossing that particular rail. Feeling the vibration it could feel, the ant, oh, there is some danger, something is coming, immediately changed the course and went to safety, a safe place. So Swamiji said, look at the ant that can understand and can take decision. But the huge, powerful machine, that rail at our train, that cannot do. So the mind is more powerful than the machine. The machine is taking thousands of people, carrying thousands of people. But the little ant, it can take the decision, but this machine cannot. This particular point, if we remember, that the mind takes decision. And that takes us either to happiness or to suffering. And the Buddhist, that monk, he categorized the mind in 7 types. He said it is direct cognition, inferential cognition, subsequent cognition, non-recurring perfection, correct assumption, doubt, and distorted condition. These are the 7 steps of the mind. The direct cognition, that is most important. Pratyaksha anubhuti. Directly I go, I see, and then I get that. That is a very important thing. Or inferential, that may be that because we see something over here and there, so we cognize in that way. We think in that way. So inferential may be dangerous. Recently, in Hathras, the thousands of people they assembled, the very ordinary, simple people, and they are very devoted type. They came to know there will be a discourse on the religion, so obviously they all came. But they never inquired where they are going and who is going to give the discourse, whether that will be beneficial or not. They never inquired in that way. So that is the Thank you. So that is the main problem. The moment they emotionally they are going, they heard that there will be a discourse, they heard that this is a wonderful place and the person, and if we go, we'll be benefited. And they went over there, and the arrangement was not there proper, but whatever it may be reason, we do not know, but there was an accident. But when we are going, if we come to know before that, anything we are taking the decision, here it called the background check. So unless and until you do that, there will be problem. So who will do that? Intelligent mind. So emotional mind and intelligent mind, they have also devotion. They have also eagerness to go over there. They also like to know. But before that, they like to know, am I going to be benefited by that person? If not, why to spend time? So this is the main question. The mind is there. Mind can take you, help you. But if you are not properly utilizing the mind, then you are suffering. So this is the way, the inferential, and then non-discreting and all these things they are mentioning. Now we go to another point, that in the Western thought, from the time of Plato, Aristotle, the human personality has been regarded as dichotomous. This is the 2 different things are happening. And the aspect is, one is body and mind, but that's all. That is why in the Western, always they give importance on the body and then the mind. So for the mind, they will be having the songs and this and that. And for the body, they will have food and gym and all this. But one thing they are missing, that Indians, they could understand. In different places, people are trying to understand. Look at it. 8th century, the one Buddhist, he is trying to find out why we are suffering, why we are not happy. So he find out the mind. And what is the mind? So analyzing. In the Western philosophy also, time of the Plato and Aristotle, they are also trying to understand how to be happy. And they focused on body and mind and how the body and the mind can be utilized. In the Romans and the Spartans, the strong body should be there, then only you will be happy. So, like that conception it came. But in the Indian thought, it's regarded as trichotomous. This trichotomous consisting of body, mind, atman. Swami Vivekananda, is one of his lectures, he mentioned this. It is not only the body and mind, it is the atman. Friends, from here actually we are going towards the pure spirituality, the atman. Mind is functioning, but whether mind is an object or not, mind is an object. How? In the beginning I was discussing, the object means you can understand it, analyze it. So obviously mind is also an object. And any object is temporary. It's going to break. And it's going to change. And we have observed our mind is constantly changing. This is our own feeling. We need not to go to any guru or any book to understand. Mind is constantly changing. In the morning I was thinking that I won't go to Hindu temple, and after 1 hour I felt, no, it is good. Saturday means dosa will be there, let us go. So immediately I changed the mind. That means mind can change. But anything that is changing is temporary, and temporary means it is going to break and it is going to the limited. The mind is an object. And if mind is an object, it cannot be the final answer. Then what will be the final answer? It must be something which is behind the mind, forcing the mind to act. And that they call Atman, Chaitanya, consciousness. Now, is it Chaitanya, the consciousness, localized? My mind, his mind, her mind, the small consciousnesses? Or it is all pervasive? This is a wonderful question, and from here, two paths are going out. One, they say the Dvaita, my mind, and that God, my God. But others say, no, you are actually inside the whole thing, and you are not separate from that. Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. So, Advaita, A means negative, Dvaita means two. No two, it is one. It cannot be two. The moment there is two, there is going to be conflict for sure. Even the father and the son will also fight. No, it should not be two. It should be one. And you have to prove that how it is one. So that there they go to the consciousness, and to prove the consciousness, you know that the traditional way of explaining is the three different stages: Jagrat, Swapna, and Shushupti. We are aware now. So what are functioning? The body, mind, and consciousness. And sleeping, body is absent, mind and consciousness is functioning. How I will know the mind is functioning? Because I see the dream. Without the mind, I cannot see the dream. And then time comes when I don't see the dream. See how, very subtle way they are proving it. But I am sleeping. I don't see the dream, but at the same time I am sleeping, then how I am leaving, because mind is absent, body is absent, how come the next morning I got up? Something must be there which was there within me, but I couldn't understand, and that they come to conclusion is the consciousness. And this consciousness is present. Now there is a beautiful question in the Bhagavata and also Prashna Upanishad. And in the Prashna Upanishad, that fifth disciple is asking Pippalada, the Rishi, Sir, when a person is in Shushupti, his mind and the body are absent, and where that atman goes, atman should be somewhere. Is it in the body itself or somewhere else? Do you know what the answer? They say it goes to the Paramatma. That means that consciousness goes to Paramatma, and what is our goal? To reach to Paramatma. And every day we go to Paramatma. Every day, but we don't know it. And that is why we come back as we were. So knowingly we have to go back to Paramatma, and that they develop the meditation. And in the meditation, they cross the third section also. Why third section? And they call it that Turiya Avastha. Turiya means fourth. Another word they have coined, Chaturtham, the fourth stage. First, Jagrat, awaking. Then, second is Swapna, the dreaming. Then, Susupti, dreamless condition. And now you are conscious, but you are not associated with the body and mind. That is called Chaturtha stage and called Turiya. Turiya is just terminology. Turiya condition. There's sometimes some people, the sadhus, they always use these terms to explain. Then someone, he loved to eat rasgulla. So he got 10, 12 rasgullas and he was very happy. And after the food, when he was, oh, I ate so many rasgullas today. And then someone commented, he is in Turiya today. Turiya means he is in joy, and it is extreme joy. That's called Turiya. So what we find in Turiya? Happiness. And what is our goal? Happiness. So how to reach to that goal? To go by this process to Turiya. And how we will travel? With our mind only. And the mind is our enemy. It won't allow us to go. And I have to make my mind my friend. And I have to convince the mind, no, it is good, let us go. And I have to, without the mind you cannot go. But you have to reach to a point where we have to say, no mind is necessary now. Without the mind, I can go now. So sometimes the disciples, they go to the guru, and after that, when the guru, they see that they have reached to that point, they say, now, you have reached to that ultimate, you go in your own way. So the guru will ask the disciple to go in his own way. There's a time, a point, and it says, our journey is not the mind, but the final source is yasya sarvam idam vibhati. Yasya, by which sarvam idam, all these manifesting. But the power of that, everything is manifesting. And what is manifesting? I can see, I can understand. But how? Because of that consciousness. If the consciousness was not there, I would not have understood this. So our goal is to understand this pure consciousness, and for that, in his treatise, that Upadesa Sahasri, and the Shankaracharya, he is mentioning in one of his chapter, he says that error to understand the Buddhyaparada Prakarana. Prakarana means chapter. And what is the chapter? You couldn't understand. buddhi, and aparadha, because you could not understand that it is your fault. Now they gave a story, and the story is Udanka. I don't know why in those days the names were very different. Udanka, the name of that person, he was going on praying to Lord Vishnu. You people, all the gods, you got the Amrit. Why not me? Unless you give the Amrit, the nectar, to me, I am going to pray to you and ultimately I will die. And if I die, I am a Brahmana, and that all the sin will go to you. So the Vishnu waited, and this man also going on practicing austerity. Then ultimately the Lord Vishnu told, okay. You want the Amrit? I will give you the Amrit. But he was not a god, he was a human being. And he wanted to be immortal. That's a story. And the Vishnu told Indra, can you please carry one jar of Amrit to him and give it to him? Indra, he is the ruler. No? He will never give all these things to the other people. So what he did, he dressed him like a Chandala. And with many the other things like the Chandala they used to do, the dogs and carrying these and that. And he was carrying that, the Amrit, but it was hanging from his waist as if collecting his urine. Then sometimes urine bags are there nowadays in the modern way. He was doing like that. And he took to that thing to that man, Udanka, and told Udanka, take this Amrit. Now Udanka immediately said, hey my God, you are giving this and that may be your urine. How can I drink it? No, I don't want. Now where is the problem? Problem is, Udanka should have understood how this man knows that I am waiting for the Amrit. He is not supposed to know. And how come he has brought that jar which the Lord Vishnu promised to me? It is Vishnu and me. In between, no third person. This fellow came. So this intelligence, this intellect is necessary, otherwise you are going to miss. Now I am going to get the blessings from a person who is not having the character, who is also cheating others and doing this thing, and whatever he says, he never follows. Shall I get the really good result from that person? No, that cannot be. This is natural. And if I go to that person, I will suffer. So Buddha aparadha. And he says, the Shankara says, and your buddhi, your intellect, it was not proper. So what I can say? I gave you everything. Vishnu told, hey, I sent you that. But you couldn't understand. In between, Indra came. From the Vishnu it was all right. But Indra told, let me check whether his intellect is all right or not. So he dressed up like that and he came. And this person should have understood this only. It was in between me and Vishnu. How he came and he is offering a jar full of Amrit. Though dressed in this way, let me check it. He didn't do that. He reacted. So sometimes we do that. We just react, seeing the outer side. And we miss it. Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj, he was very short, maybe 4 feet or something like that, but full of knowledge. He was blessed by Swami Vivekananda himself when he was a baby. And then he was blessed by Raja Maharaj, that Swami Brahmanandaji. And Mother initiated him. So all this. But when he became president, the small and he's going, but his Shevaks, they were all the 3 of them, they were tall, they are fair complex and very good looking, all the 3 of them. And they used to stand always at the back of the Swami, and the Swami will go with a stick and very humble he will go. And most of the people, ignoring him, they will go and touch the feet, all these Shevaks. And Shevaks will say, What you are doing, that is the President Maharaj. Go and touch them. They are not impressed because of the dress and the figure, for the particular form that he was. And he will be having the glasses in that way. So see, buddhi aparadha. You do not know, and the Shebak told, actually try to understand, whom we are serving? Him. If he is not advanced, then why we will serve him? And you are coming and touching our feet and asking for blessings from us, go to him. So this is buddhi aparadha. Ma Saradamani Devi, she was sitting on that veranda. Other ladies were also there. Maybe those who have read the biography, you know. And there was a lady always in the company of the mother. She was Gulabma. Her complexion was very good. Big, big eyes. She was very good looking lady. Beautiful lady. And now she was sitting also a little distance from the mother. And one lady came. She looked to both, Ma Sharadamani Devi and to this Gulabma, and went to Gulabma. Gulabma told, have you lost your eyes? Can't you see the divine eyes? No, you have so beautiful eyes. So this is called buddhi aparadha. So this chapter here, the Shankara is telling, you have to be intelligent to understand where to go, whom to go, what to accept. Otherwise, how can I help you? It is up to your choice. So these are the incidents when we hear, and also this Udanka that he is mentioning in his book, the Upadesa Sahasri, I have to understand whether I am on the right path and to the right person or not. In his another book, Viveka which we have already studied, there the Shankara mentioned that three things are very, very important. Very, very important. And only by the grace of God you get. What are the three things? Manushyatva, Mumukshvatva, Mahapurusha Samastraya. The third one is very important. No? There will be people, they will be cheating in the name of religion. You have to be careful. Out of emotion you should not go. You have to be careful. You should That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said in Bengali, Sadhu ke dine dekhbi, rate dekhbi, tarpore vishwas karbi. You must check that holy person in the daytime and the night time. And that means you must check that person and then you should believe. Why? Because the sadhu, what he says, that is abstract thing. It cannot simply directly bring the God and give it to you. If you go to a shop and you are purchasing something, maybe potato or banana or whatever, you can touch it, see it, and then you can purchase. But when the sadhu says, I will give you God, you have no other option but to believe. Because the God is something which he cannot give like this. But how he will understand whether he has the capacity to give it or not? Now in the scripture itself it says, and in all different monks in different places, different time, they always say the yardstick to understand a holy man, whether he is unselfish or not. The unselfishness is the yardstick. If he is not unselfish, be careful. So this is the way you have to, and it says in this way that you have to be careful, because otherwise the chance may come before you, but you will miss it. And in that way he is telling this story. And we will read from this book. In the fourth verse, it says, Chaitanya pratibimbena vyapta bodha hi jayate buddhe shabdadivihi bhasatena mamuhyate jagat ma muhyate jagat. Again and again we are deluded. Ma muhyate moha muyate, deluded again and again because of the jagat. And what is this jagat? Shabda. He just mentioned Shabda. What are the other four? Sparsha, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasha, Gandha. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasha, Gandha. The Shabda, as because she told 11 years I am coming, so I'm taking the test. Whether the students are studying or not. The Shabda, he just mentioned Shabda, and after the Shabda, 5 things are there. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasha, Gandha. These are the 5 objects. And in these 5 objects, the mind goes and they're stuck over there. And they cannot come back. But you have to be careful, Chaitanya Pratibimbita, just as the modification of the intellect are pervaded by the reflection of the consciousness. Modification of the intellect, buddhi. Now this is again another point. And over that, there's a lot of debate is there among the Vedantins. Where the Chaitanya remains, inside our body there is a mind. Mind is an object. But the pure consciousness is not the object. How that pure consciousness is inside us and acting? Without the pure consciousness, nothing can act. Then some say it is reflecting on the consciousness, reflecting on our buddhi, consciousness reflecting on our intellect. So they divide the mind in 4 parts. One is mana, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkara. Now, chitta is the storehouse where all the impressions are collected. And mana, it is the portion of the same mind which is seeing something but cannot take the decision. So that decision is very important. When yesterday I was coming back from Nashville, I was really thinking that I must have to go back in the night itself, because morning this class is there in the Hindu temple. So obviously I was asking Rishikesh then what to do. There was another option. He went and talked to them, and they say another craft is there, but say 1 hour before. But our original was going on changing time, and it is very, very difficult. Then I told, no, we should try to go in this. And if we miss, the original one is already there. We can once again go, try. Let us go and take the decision. So we took the decision, we came back a little late, but 10 o'clock, but we could come back. So this decision you have to take. And what the portion of the mind takes the decision? Buddhi. How the buddhi acts in this way? Because it is lighted, forced by the consciousness. So this is very, very important. The man to man, what is the difference between the man and man? Buddhi. When a person, his intellect is very sharp, can understand things immediately, can take decision, he becomes the leader. He becomes the successful. Because of the intellect, because of the buddhi. Otherwise, all minds are the same. This buddhi has to be sharpened because the reflection of the consciousness is coming on that. And the reflection can do all these things? Yes. The constant reflection is coming. But there are some questions are there. When a person is dead, what happens to his mind? They say it goes out. Now the conception is coming, karma phala. The whatever action you have done, work you have done, result is there. And without functioning that result, you cannot go. Suppose you have done something wrong, and in this world, when you are alive, police could not arrest you, you are immune for some reason, and you can do anything wrong and go away. No, that cannot be. So there must be some place, somewhere, anything wrong, anything good that you have done, that result will come. So that means it is continuing. So life after life, you have to go in that. Suppose that mind is going, is the consciousness is there? It is there. Again. Because it is all pervading, it is there. But which is more powerful is the impression on our minds. Whatever we have thought, whatever we have did, whatever we have said, all that, those are actions. Kahika, bachika, manasika. Through words, through thought, and through physically, whatever action we have done, all the results are coming in the mind. And that is stored. And unless you are functioning, that won't go. Then what is the end? Where is the end? Because we are going on doing something and some other result is going on, accumulating. Where is the end? Then they say in two different ways. You have to burn it with the knowledge of fire, the fire of knowledge. Not fire, fire of knowledge. Second, you give it to God. So Dvaita and Advaita. The Dvaita, they say, give it to God. I have seen that yesterday, all these families, they were there because of the 4th of July, all families are moving. A small little girl, she got something when she was wearing the glasses and the big nose. It looked funny. And she was wearing, people are looking at her and laughing. And she, though small, hardly 4 or 5 years, maybe less than that, immediately understood something wrong with this. And I must see why people are laughing. So she gave it to her father and asking her to put it on. Then ultimately the father was compelled to put that as a big nose and the 2 glasses and the moustache. And then perhaps you have seen that. And then she understood why people were laughing, and she was laughing and enjoying. So this is called knowledge. The people are laughing at me, but I am wearing the glasses, why they should laugh? And obviously I must know the knowledge. Look at it. So here also, when I look at the character of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, all these galaxies of the spiritual giants, oh, they are really wonderful. That means something is there. This is the inference. Must be there. And what they have done, they realized God, they realized Brahman. So obviously, I am sure if I also practice like them, I will also realize the Brahman. I will also become like that. So this is the way I conclude. A Chaitanya Pratibimbena Bhapto Bodha Hi Jayate. The intellect is saturated with the consciousness. That I should know. And then slowly, and that consciousness which it is coming in this fashion, all through, and it is why I see the changes, because other things are moving, but I am constant. Or those things are constant, I am moving. They are giving the example, in those days, only boat they used to have. And these people in India, in the ancient time, they were not having even the horses. Much afterwards, horses came. The only kings used to have the horses, which were costly. From the Middle East, they started coming. So boat was available. A lot of rivers, naturally boat. So example they are giving, when you are in a boat and you are moving and you see the trees are moving. No, trees are there. You are moving. So obviously, the movement can be observed and comparing with something which is static. So see how, so simple thing, but they took the wonderful decisions. Something static must be there, which is not moving. Comparing with that, I can understand my movement. The mind is moving, But something must be there which is observing the mind. Which is that? I. It is I that is constant. I was a little child, I am grown up, I am now old, I every time. My body is changing, I am observing, but I is constant in all the changes. So we have to understand that I, which is the consciousness. And these five senses, if we understand, then we can be able to do everything. Now in the next chapter, and it says that you have to go beyond the shoka. We'll just touch this chapter. And Vishesha Apoha Prakarana. And we have to understand these. Suppose my hand has been operated. I don't have the hand, but I survive. And I forget that there was a hand. Some other things we have used. So without the hand, I am all right. See how they are giving the example. That's so primitive type of examples. If your hand is not there, somebody has cut down the hand, but you are there. Now, similarly, if the Jagat is not there, see, from the hand to Jagat, if your hand, which was so close to you, and you were thinking and using, if that is not there for some reason, if it is operated and taken out, still you survive. Similarly, if the Jagat, all these things that you see, Rupa and Nama, if goes away, you will survive. So that is the consciousness, and Tasma Taktena Hastena Tulyam Sarvam Visheshanam Anatmattena Tasmajya Gyo Mukta Sarvai Visheshanaihi. Visheshana, adjectives. He is tall, he is short, he is fat, he is thin, he is rich, and he is poor, he is educated, he is uneducated, all are Visheshanas. I have nothing to do with that. So you have to give all those Visheshanas, adjectives. And if you can give away all the adjectives, then only it is possible to go to consciousness. Just now, before coming over here, one guest, they have come from some place I have forgotten, and they first invited one of our Swamis, I think Tyaganandaji. And Tyaganandaji went over there, but something happened. Always there are 2-3 groups are there. Then one group came and insulted, not directly to him, but something wrong happened. And this year they thought that Tyaganandaji won't come. So they invited and Tyaganandaji came, and they were wondering, Maharaj, if it was for our thing, we would not have gone in this life. But see, look, the Tyaganandaji, he never took that insult, he came again. I told, that is because we love you. That is because Swami Vivekananda said, can you take the position of a physician who is pouring the life-giving medicine into the mouth of a child who is kicking him? The child is kicking that doctor, but doctor knows he is innocent. He doesn't know actually, I am giving the medicine through which he will survive. I must have to give. He may not want it. He doesn't know it. So that is the position of the consciousness. It is always there. If you make a mistake, no problem. You just understand, you get it. And how? So simple. Suppose your hand has been amputated, but you are surviving. Similarly, all these worldly things that are there, if you give away, you will survive. Why Chaitanya? Tasmat Tyaktena Hastena. As you could survive without the hand, Tulyam, comparing, Sarvam Visheshanam. All the adjectives that you are having over here, Anatmattena Tajyaj. Give up thinking they are not actually permanent. Now, the America is having some problem. So that position is anatma, that gentleman is not understanding. So if he understands, then it will be, problem will be over. But, but why? He is thinking without the position I am nobody. No. Without that particular chair, you were surviving, you will be surviving. Unnecessarily you are thinking, I must have to have. Though my body and the age and the is not actually helping me to do that. And all people are requesting, I'll give up. No, we cannot. Why? I am so much attached to that. I am thinking without that I won't survive. The one very rich man was dying. Then his accountant came before him and he asked him, hey, how much money is there? And can after me, all this family, will they be able to survive? They said, don't worry, go in peace. After you, at least 14 generations, you have kept so much of money, at least 14 generations they will survive. Then he immediately scolded him. What about 15 generations? What will happen to that? After me, 15 generations. So that is called attachment. And that is called samsara. Who is samsari? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to avoid the samsari. But he was having so many household devotees. So sometimes we receive the questions. He was having the household devotees. And some of them, they were so close to him. How come he said that? And it is not that. The samsaris are those who are so much attached to these worldly things, thinking that without these I cannot survive, and they are called samsari, and Sri Ramakrishna told it will take time for them. So he used to say, I don't like to waste time talking with them, mixing with them, so avoid them. It will take time for them to understand. So this we have to understand. This is the sloka of the 6th prakarana. It says, Tasmat tyaktena. So you have to give up. Give up what? Unnecessary things, which is called visheshana. And I have seen many of the houses, your son or daughter was very good athlete, and almost from the grade 4, 5, he was going on getting so many medals, and the parents have kept all this hanging. It has no value for that particular person. Now he is a great person. Now if he goes and sees those medals, it has no value. But the mother is telling you, no, you got this when you were running in your school. Did I? Okay, no problem. So like this, for him it is nothing. Because he has overcome all those things. And that grade 4, and then running the 100 meter, he got a medal and all, nothing actually. So things goes on above and above. Now we have come to a situation, a position, where we have to remember Swami Vivekananda's words, where he says, take the position of a giver. Take the position of a giver. Give love, give service, give everything that you have. But in return, don't ask anything. That is the position. So if you want my help, always. But I don't want anything from you. Why? Because I have understood that these things won't give me the eternal happiness. And that is called knowledge. Thank you. We will continue from here in the next month. If you have any question, then we will. How is that? There's questions? Oh, acha. The live is going on, so some questions online has come. Can you ask those questions? Now online some questions have come, he likes to say that. Now you read out a little bit.
Anjali is asking, Maharaj, with due respect, may we know mind and thought are interrelated, or whether mind is dependent on thought?
Now, heart means, so in the English we are calling heart, Not that. The physical heart has nothing to do with this. Mind is completely different. And that mind has four parts according to the Indian philosophy. The one is when the mind is in a situation, can't take decision. They call it mana. Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Atmika is dwindling. Second, Nishchayatmika Buddhi. And that when we can take same thing, same intellect, when taking the decision is called Buddhi, Mana Buddhi. Store is the Chitta. And all these functions because of the Ahamkara, the I. And what is that I? It is the reflection of the consciousness on the Buddhi. The ego, the I, is nothing but the reflection of the consciousness on the Buddhi. So that is called, this is the difference. So now, heart that you say, that is a different thing. That's a feeling of the mind called heart. The Hridaya is a feeling of different actions. Thank you. Any other questions?
Similar question, Swamiji, that so basically it is the reflection in the individual in the form of atman, which
Right.
does everything. So the practical sadhana point of view, the point is making the intellect clear and transparent, so that that reflection is so bright that enlightens that individual or the buddhi, basically.
The only thing that the Vedantin they always say, here Shankaracharya is also telling, don't think that I am doing. It is reflection on my buddhi, but when I get associated with that and say, I am doing, this is my buddhi, this is my reflection, and I am doing it, that is the bondage. And from there, taktena, you have to give up that much. I have nothing to do. Then what is this? I am the pure consciousness. And all these things that is happening because of my ignorance. So I am not associated with it. So when understand this, then it is all over. Suppose the children are playing with their dolls. A senior person goes and sits with them. He also plays with them and enjoys with them. But that is all drama. He knows all these things are nothing. But for the children, it is very, very important. For the grown-up person who has that experience, he is also touching the doll or doing this and doing that. But it is a game for him or her, the grown-up person. But for the children, it is associated. There is so much like that only. Sri Ramakrishna was here. Lord Jesus was also here. And they were also in the human form. They were also having the family, the father and mother, the friends, the followers. But they were not attached with anything. We are also having the same thing. The only problem, we are too much attached to this and we cannot disassociate. That is the sadhana. The sadhana only to understand this and disassociate. That's all. So thank you then. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om.